this is the story of a movie you may have seen. People may have seen the kind of the how do I put it? Um, there was like this. Uh, the director was like, "This is our moment. This is our time. It's all about trans inclusion." And well, the movie flopped like
Yeah.
legendarily. By the way, shout out to Jordan Peele for literally getting worse with every movie he puts out. Like, talk about your all-time biggest flukes. Everyone thought his first movie was pretty good.
What was his
That's
first one?
his first movie was the Sunken Place movie.
Oh, I didn't see
Um
that.
it's actually it's like a parody of how white people want to be black people.
Oh.
After you kind of understand his message, then you like it less. It was
Uh-huh.
called Get Out. And then
I did oh, I liked Get Out. I
yeah,
did
it's
watch Get
fine.
Out.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
But then you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, now I know what Jordan Peele's about." Like white people just fantasize
Right.
about being black and so anyway,
I liked Us too.
Us was
I mean, I don't think it
okay.
was nearly as good as Get Out, but I liked it enough. That one did legitimately scare me.
I
So,
didn't like the weird forced comedy. Otherwise, I
mm,
liked it.
yeah.
There was like that one family that was like cracking jokes. And I'm like, well, I don't understand what that didn't fit. But it was okay. I saw it in the theater because I thought, oh, Get Out was so good. Then I don't know if then he ruined Twilight Zone. Then he did Nope, which was okay. I
Yeah,
liked it
I didn't
fine.
watch that.
I
Uh-huh.
liked it fine. Um, but for the most part, it's basically been all downhill.
Right.
You may remember Jordan Peele made the news famously saying he refuses to hire white people.
Yeah.
Which fine. Then hopefully black people will hold you up at the movie theater.
Yeah.
That's just where my attitude's gone now. Like when I see that crap come out of somebody's mouth, I'm like, cool. You're not getting my money.
Yeah, exactly.
If you see white people as a monolith
Mhm.
and as a bad thing, as something that needs to get corrected or changed, I don't care how good your product is. I'm not paying for it. There's
Yep.
just no chance. And I feel like there are other people who, like that's kind of coming along. Anyway, Dev Patel and Jordan Peele's pro LGBTQ action movie Monkey Man fails to impress at the box office. I know
Surprise.
this is probably shocking to a lot of you out there.
Someone in Rumble chat says monkeypox man.
That was an unfortunate coincidence. Yeah. Mainstream may prop up a pro LGBTQ action movie, Monkey Man, as the best thing since sliced bread, but numbers don't lie. And the Jordan Peele produced film has proven to be nothing more than a disappointment at the box office. Lead actor
Mm.
Dev Patel, who also co wrote and directed the film, promoted Monkey Man, declaring, "For me, this is an anthem for the underdogs, the voiceless, and the marginalized," making allusion to India's transgender community. He added, "Together they wage this war for good and the just." And like he's talking about people like dudes pissing in women's rooms as being freedom fighters or something like that.
Right.
Like, chill out, man. And he goes, I wanted to include the Hira community, the third gender in India, explaining that as its core, Monkey Man is a revenge film about faith. Hmm.
I'm just curious how many people are LARPing as transgender in India. I
I feel like
can't
not many.
I
I
can't imagine it would be that many and who would want to support this movie. It's definitely odd.
Yeah, this is not made for Indian cinema, guaranteed.
Yeah.
He writes, "For me, it's become rigid over time. And you look at the old carvings in these temples in India, like freedom and the sexuality of it all. The philosophy was so far ahead of its time."
That's another retarded thing because it's like if you actually want to look at ancient paintings and hieroglyphs and stuff, like you'll see things like child sacrifice on there. Just
Right.
because so
It was
it's
ahead
like
of its time, Mel. Yeah.
can we
Didn't you
like
know?
not pretend that some of these old cultures weren't barbaric?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It was just ahead of its time. And then they
Yeah.
said woke mainstream media outlets have been praising Monkey Man solely for the fact that it features trans representation. Not a surprise after Patel openly promoted it as a pro LGBTQ action film. An article titled "The Radical Impact of Monkey Man's Transgender Hero," GQ's Lucy Ford writes, "The Hydra, I don't know, I don't really care if I'm pronouncing it right. You put it plainly kick ass. They wield knives, hurled axes, throw explosives in goons' faces, and spin the dropkick counter off its wheels. Like,
Wow.
geez, like put it back in your pants, lady. And then it goes, to give this transgender community such a prominent role and one that focuses on the bravery and agency rather than suffering feels radical in the cultural landscape that's becoming more dangerous to trans people, where trans people are
They're a
constantly
danger to
uplifted,
themselves.
well, statistically, and
Yeah.
then the entire society, like our entire society is like worships that community. They're not in any danger.
They're
Like,
protected.
yeah, they're the most protected class in America, maybe with the exception of one. But
Mhm.
landscape is becoming more and more dangerous for trans people. So let's get to how the movie did. Oh, by including multiple trans and gender nonconforming roles, Monkeypox Man makes strides towards the representation while also audiences to a subculture in India, what they may not be familiar. I don't know if you're out there, if you're one of the 5,000 people watching, are you curious in the about the trans subculture in India? Are you willing to pay 15 to $25 to see to learn, to get educated on the trans subculture in India? Also, I find that oftentimes these quote unquote ancient texts are bent and
Yep,
twisted to try and say, you know,
that
oh, we're
too.
actually trans, they're actually trans when they weren't.
Yep.
Oh, there's a tiny bit of gray area. Oh, a piece of the guy's dong broke off because the carving's 100 years old. Proof of
Oh, he's
transgenderism.
trans.
Yeah. Like that, and I don't care. This is where I'm at now. I don't care how good this film is.
Yep.
I'm out. I'm not
That's
giving you
where
my
I'm
money.
at. Because at
Yeah.
first I thought, what is this? Is this a monkey dude? Who is this like an anime style? A monkey dude fights a boxing match? Sign me up. But then I see all this. It's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. It's an action film where they're like, Monkey Man is far more successful at exploring sexuality in the genre. Pass. Oh, wait, I didn't finish.
For
Via a
real.
group of transgender women. Oh my God. Yes, please. The well, by the way,
Why
and
do
it's
people like want to watch all the movies and stuff about sexuality in general anyway? I don't understand why that's become such a topic that people are putting their whole identities in first of all, but it's just like everything, any type of fandom or anything. Oh, I need to know who this character wants to sleep with and who that character. It's like this is just weird for
and
that to
we
be such a focus.
and we've also gotten to a point of degeneracy in films where,
Yes.
like, you used to get, like, the odd boob every now and again, and it was like,
Uh-huh.
"Whoa, that's shocking." Now,
Yeah.
like, Netflix, you've got, like, full penetration, full
For
on
real.
copulating, and it's like, I didn't need this in my movie. It doesn't
For
like, I
real.
felt like it just didn't make Game of Thrones better. Like, yeah, okay, when I'm like,
That's
"Oh,
why I
titty,
didn't
cool."
watch Game of Thrones because
Yeah, like,
I tried the first episode and I'm pretty sure the brother
it
and
was
the
very
sister were
gratuitous.
getting it
Yeah.
on. I was like, okay, I'm out. I can't do this. I
Yes,
can't.
they were yep, that was brother and sister. Well, the movie made a whole $10 million. And, the funny thing is, the reason these movies get made is because they're the ones that get funded.
Yeah.
So they're like, when there's a pile of money in the middle of the room, the like trans ideology activists in Hollywood are only funding movies that push trans
Yep.
ideology.
Yep.
That's why when you look at every freaking movie, every TV show that comes out, interracial couple every single time. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, 70% of the country, 60% of the country are white couples, but turn on TV and it's almost 0.
That's true, and on commercials constantly. And I'm not even against like interracial couples in general, but I can't help but notice
It's
that
not the norm.
it's not the norm yet.
Yeah.
This is most of what you see in commercials nowadays is an interracial couple, and it's
My
very
favorite my
odd.
favorite Melonie is the black man, I mean, sorry, the black woman with the Asian man.
Yes,
That's a common one I see on commercials, and I'm
it's
like,
so funny
is
because
that
like
how often does that happen? Like,
it's not common
yeah.
at all.
I mean, I know you're trying to sell me Cheerios, but I wanna know how many black women are married to Asian men in America. And
Yeah.
but it's like that's where the money is. They say, I mean, look at the way the awards are in Hollywood. The only way you could get an Oscar is if you have like 50%, um, you know, POC representation, the literal
Right.
percentages, and they have to check off every box. Before you know it, the only time you see two white people together is when they're gay men or gay women. And like other
Right.
than that, everything has to be, follow this, this formula. And whatever, however much this movie costs, I don't know. I don't think it was a huge budget. Um, it's gonna lose money. It's gonna lose
Oh, yeah.
like
Certainly.
okay, so the Monkey Man budget. Oh, I can't find it. Maybe check and find it, but it's
I think
wild
I
to me.
saw they
Oh,
said the
30,000,000.
budget was okay. I knew it wasn't, like, huge or anything, but even what they're saying is the budgets are always higher than what they purport because of, like,
Of
all the
course.
marketing cost and all that. So I just really don't see this movie making its money back.
Well, usually you look at first you double it because they don't include the marketing costs.
Yeah.
And then what you have to do is say, okay, well, if the movie theater, when they say it made 100,000,000 at the box office, that means that the box office keeps 50,000,000 and that
Mhm.
because it's split 50-50 unless you're
Yep.
Disney, where you get like 60-40 in some cases. So if it makes 100,000,000 at the box office, a $50,000,000 movie lost money.
Right. Yep.
So with a $30,000,000 budget on this film, sadly, it did not. Maybe next time, the next trans supportive inclusive action film can do better. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I just we need more. We need far more
Mhm.
trans action film representation.